X, go and give it to you. And it did. It really did. It gave me everything. My days, this movie is so good. It was a roller coaster, this film. Ty West in the director's chair and doing the writing of this. It's brilliant. It's an homage to the sexploitation horrors of the 70s. In this case, we don't just get a film as a tribute to that kind of era of filmmaking where sex and slasher were blended together for a great money-making scheme for a lot of independent filmmakers where you didn't need a particularly good budget, you just need a good title, tits and gore, and you are making money. Here we have a film about filmmaking tied into this, as we have a group of young filmmakers. They are setting out to make an adult movie. They are going to a barn, sort of farm area to film it there because the adult film is based around a farm, but the people who own this farm are two really corrupt, murderous old people, and it's just done so tastefully well. Like, the villains here are brilliant. They have a bizarre presence about them, kind of remind me of some of the family members from Resident Evil 7, and kind of the setting almost feels similar too. The old woman Pearl, what a villain she is. Like, she is aesthetically super creepy. The way she's filmed in a lot of sequences, she is just a disturbing presence. Like, the first time we get eyes on to this character, when she's just, sitting looking out of the top bedroom window of the house, that's bloody creepy, man. There's just something about sort of old hags, in a sense, peering through windows at people from afar. It's just unsettling. And here we get really unsettling bad guys who are also incredibly sympathetic, and it all relates back to the theme of sex. It's probably the best use of sex as a theme in a sex-fueled horror. It's not just there to sell tickets. It's there because we effectively have this porn crew who are utilizing sex for money. They're wanting to build a reputation. They're wanting to take on the world and become stars, using their bodies as the instruments to do so. But the old couple are kind of envious of this in the sense that they have got to an age where sex is more and more impossible for them. Like, I mean, it's not impossible, as we do see in the film, in a particularly hilarious and is off-putting the word? It probably is. It's a mad scene of them, banging. Yeah, it's a case where, sex is one of life's greatest pleasures. It's a thing that we all strive for. It's something that, is part of procreation. It's used to make life. But it's also something that when you get to a certain age, your body doesn't allow you to do it in the same way. And as you get very, very old, you become naturally less, quote unquote, attractive to people. Here, it's done in a way where Pearl is very reclusive about herself. She sees this group of young people coming to the farm area, and they're all young and they're beautiful and they're sexy and they're able to do things with each other and experience this pleasure, and it's something that she's had in her life at a younger age, and she is now in her, the winter years of her life, as it were, and she doesn't have that anymore. And emotionally, you still have those feelings towards people. You still feel lustfulness. You can still get horny, That's basically what the crack is here. With males and females in Pearl's sense, she is a bisexual. And it's done so well. It's so well utilized and well crafted because it doesn't just link to the character themes, but it links to the homage to the sexploitation theme as well. Like, it's brilliant. And the X of the title is not just the X rating of the horror movie, it's the X rating of the sex as well. And we do get some good display here. Brittany Snow, what a trooper. She definitely goes for it. Jenna Ortega goes for it. Mia Goth goes for it. Fair play. Like, they put on a show in this film, and all the cast do a great job. I'm not just talking about the sex-related scenes, obviously. Like, a thing that sexploitation films, or just generally low-budget 70s horrors, don't do particularly great with, is acting. That's always been the Achilles heel of many films of this period, where you might have a good concept, but a lot of the time you're not able to afford A-list actors, and the genre wasn't as attractive as it is today, especially in this kind of elevated horror period, especially with A24 at the helm, who are responsible for the release of this movie. But everyone here does great. It's a relatable cast. Everyone's got a clear path that they are on. They are all fleshed out, and they're all well performed. It's effectively a 70s tits and gore horror movie, but done with incredible style. And Ty West here does a great job. Everything about this film is just so gorgeous to look at. There's so many great bits of framing here and there. The aspect ratio keeps shifting. We keep going from the modern day, high def, high quality imagery to the in-camera footage from the film that's being made by the filmmakers. The music choice is great. There's a lot of really beautiful setup shots of Mia Goth's character, swimming in the lake with the crocodile coming after her, and you've just got that really great aerial shot looking down on them. The scene where, Pearl kills the cameraman and his blood all over the headlights and, turns the environment red. It just looks brilliant. Little bits of Evil Dead vibes there with when the blood goes onto the projector in the first Evil Dead. There's even some callbacks to Friday the 13th, even though that was the 80s and this is set in 79, because you get some POV shots of Pearl walking around, stalking people, but you've got the kind of breathing soundtrack to accompany that. Not like the it's more just sort of like a sort of styling to it. It's great. Like, it's an amazing throwback film done with modern filmmaking techniques and classic filmmaking techniques. It's just superb. I can't remember the last time I saw a mainstream cinema-wide release with this kind of ilk to it. X was such a great ride. Pardon the pun. I mean, that pun is actually used in the film itself. There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff in there, particularly early on in the film where you have the van that everyone travels together in. It's got ploughing service on the side of the van. Really clever. There's even a part after a transition where, make of this what you will, there is a large black chicken immediately front and center of the camera shot. You get the context there, probably without me having to explain it further. Let's just say that. One last thing I will say, actually, before clocking off. One of the most interesting transition choices I've ever seen in cinema. It's probably been done before. If you could let me know in the comments if you've seen this elsewhere in earlier films, do please let me know. But for me personally, I hadn't seen this. There's a transition that happens multiple times throughout the film where it'll be in a scene, then it'll cut to the following scene, but then it'll do this kind of back and forth, switching to what we've just seen to the next scene. It's like flicking back and forth. It's just so interesting. Like, it worked really well. Like, I enjoyed this transition type. Overall, the visuals were great. The acting was great. The concept was great. Villains were great. Kills were great. Like, what I love about the kills, they just come out of nowhere, most of them. There shouldn't always have to be a grand, over-the-top splatter kill in these kind of films. It's just boom, shotgun, dead. But yeah, X was awesome. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of X. And also, please feel free to chuck a subscribe or a like down below if you enjoyed this first reaction. Cheers for checking this one out. I'll see you next time.